Alright guys, this is a really short video. It's just reviewing a couple lessons, 2.5 lessons, and you're going to have some IXL exercises to do, and I start all those IXL so you know what, you've already done some of them, but some of them might be new ones, but if you could work on those for review, and then I will post all the homework answers so you can see how you've done with these lessons. And if you have any questions, tomorrow we'll have another Zoom optional meeting. Or sorry, tomorrow's going to be a review session for our test on Thursday. So that's when we'll have all that. Okay, so on 9-1, you have to be able to simplify expressions such as negative 2m to the third times the square root of 315m to the eighth. 315m to the eighth. Okay, so what you want to do is you always want to simplify what's in the radical as much as you can, whether you have just one expression or an equation or Pythagorean theorem. Please simplify all your radicals. And so I'm going to do that here by breaking down my number using prime factorization. So it gives me 63, and then 9 and 7. Okay, so I got a 9, which is good, and then a 5 and a 7. So that 9 is going to come out as a 3, and that 3 gets multiplied by negative 2, so I have negative 6. And then I have 8 m's being multiplied in the radical, so I need to pull out every pair. So I have 4 pairs that come out, and the 4 pairs with the 3 that were already there, m to the 7th. And then was anything left behind? Yes, this 9 came out, but I was still left with 35. So I have that left in the radical. So negative 6m to the 7th times the square root of 35. So that would be my final answer. So that's what you're going to be doing with lesson 9-1. Lesson 9-2. 9-2. You're going to be adding and subtracting these expressions. So you'll have to simplify and add and subtract. So let me get a kind of a tough one here. Yeah, how about 2d minus 11 times the square root of 99 minus 5d plus 4 times the square root of 704. Okay, so you're going to be simplifying each expression or each term, and then if you have any like terms, you can combine them, and sometimes you're adding, sometimes you're subtracting, and sometimes you can get more complicated, but again, you'll get some practice on IXL. So this first one is as simple as can be, but this second one has 9 times 11 in the radical, so I take out that 3, and I'll just rewrite this 2d minus, if I took out that 3, it became 33 times the square root of the 11 was still left there. Okay, and then this cannot be simplified. Here, I'm going to guess that it can, so I have 2 that comes out, and so I'll get 3, 5, 2, and then I'm going to simplify that more, 2, 1, 7, 6, and then 2, 8, 8. This feels familiar, by the way. 4, 2 and 22, 2 and 11. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3 pairs of 2, and then an 11. So I took a 2, a 2, another 2 out. So that's going to be 8. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8 times the 4, 32, and then the square root of 11 was still left there. So I'm going to add these 2 together and these 2 together, and so I get negative 3d, so I added those 2 together, and then minus the square root of 11, or minus 1 times the square root of 11, because negative 33 plus 32 is negative 1. Okay, so that would be your simplified answer for that problem. Okay, and then lesson 9-3a, because we reviewed 9-3b yesterday. So 9-3a, the first part, you're dealing with multiplying expressions. So you have a few different types that you're going to multiply. You're going to multiply expressions like, let's go with negative. Okay, that's a good one. -3 times the square root of 3x times 2 times the square root of 5x plus 6 times the square root of 6x. Okay, so in this case, you're going to use a distributive property because you have a term multiplied by two terms being added. These cannot be combined because they're not like terms. So I'm going to use that distributive property. So when you multiply radicals, you can multiply the numbers outside. So that gets me -6. That's -3 times 2, -6. And then I can also multiply the radicals or the numbers inside, square root of 15x squared. I'll leave it like that for now. Then I'm going to multiply that outside term by that second term inside. That gets me -18 times the square root of 18x squared. So I just multiplied the coefficients and then also the radicals themselves. And then remember, always simplify your answers. So here I got 3 and 5. Nothing comes out with the numbers, but I do get an x to come out. And then here I have a 9 that comes out. A 9 can come out. So a 9 times 2 is here, right? So then I can take out a 3. 3 times 18, I believe, is 54. -54. And then the x also comes out. And I'm left with the square root of 2. Although these do have the same variable, they don't have the same square root. So we don't combine them any further. And so that's what we're going to be left with. -6x times the square root of 15 minus 54 x times the square root of 2. So that would be the answer there. So you'll be multiplying these expressions as well. So again, do the IXL exercises. If you already got to a certain level, try to get a little bit higher. And again, we'll have our review session tomorrow. But if you have any questions, just ask on Google Classroom. And hopefully you'll be ready for that test coming up on Thursday. All right, take care, guys.